Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and you're watching Triple T Acres. And in today's video, we are going to be doing an update on my pond aeration system. Now this is a highly requested video from my viewers. And the reason why is because this is a very budget friendly or cheap pond aeration system. And I know everybody has that common question when you buy something cheap is, will it last? And I'm here to answer that for you. I'm also going to go over anything that has gone wrong with the thing and whether I'd recommend it again. So stick around, guys. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, I wanted to show you this whole setup really quick, and I don't think it gets any cheaper than what I've done here. This is just a basic tote here that I've got the pond aerator in just to keep the weather off of it. And I've done some modifications to this to keep the pump cool. So let me show you how this thing is set up. This lid is on there to keep the weather out of it, and I have the pump right here in the middle. Here on the side, I've got a cooling fan. It's really basically just a computer cooling fan. And what it does is it blows air across the top of this pump, keeping it nice and cool. Here on the sides, I have two floor drains that are meant for a shower. They're being used basically as a screen and some vents. So it draws the cool air from here across the motor out the side. And then right here is the filter for the pump. Now, I will say this has lasted for a little more than 2 years. And I think what I've done here is extended its life by doing these sort of things, like keeping it in a cooled box, changing the filter. This is the old filter that was in there. I do that once a year. This is what it should look like, nice and clean. And that goes right here where the intake is. So that keeps the weather out of it, keeps it nice and cool. And I will say that is part of the longevity of this pump, is doing those sort of things. So if you're going to do something like this, I would say make sure you do these steps to keep it nice and cool. Now, the problem that I had with this, and it's the only problem that I've had so far, is the on and off switch. It's a little toggle switch that I had to bypass. It had a little short in it, so I ended up just hardwiring past it. And if I want to turn the thing off, I'll unplug it. Right now, I have it unplugged just so that I can talk over it, because the pump is not the quietest, but it's also not the loudest. And I'll get this thing plugged in and show you how this thing works here right now. Real quick, I wanted to show you how the air hose is running and the wires that are coming out of this before we get it plugged in. So here's the air hose that's coming out, and I actually have it trenched down into the ground here. It goes all the way out there into the pond, and that hose is self-sinking. So it goes clear to the bottom, and then right out there in the middle next to that trampoline, which is awesome. The kids have absolutely loved that thing this summer. I've got a duck decoy with a rope. That rope is tied all the way down to the diaphragm. So if I ever need to do any maintenance on it, I can pull the thing up, scrub the diaphragm, keeping those bubbles nice and fine, because that's what you need. If you don't do that, the muck and the stuff on the bottom will start covering up those holes. So that's how the hose is run out. And the wires that I have, there's two wires that are coming out of this. One is for the pump and one is for the fan here. And what I did is I cut a little groove here, so when I put the lid on this, it keeps the wires from getting pinched. So then it runs in up to here, and I have the fan plugged in. There's a little toggle switch that I hit right here. That kicks the fan on, and then right here I plug in the pond aerator, and we're gonna hear it kick on here. Now, it's pretty loud standing right next to it. You can hear me talk just fine. It would be annoying if that lid was off the whole time. But let's watch the bubbles come up here. It takes just a couple minutes. There they are. They push that duck decoy out, and they're gonna push that trampoline off to the side there. So it does. It still generates a lot of airflow and water movement for the pond. I want to take you down here a little bit closer so you can see the bubbles are actually really well, and you can see the rings are coming all the way out here. And what that's doing is that the bubbles are coming up and they're causing this draft, and it's causing the water to flow. And that really helps with the health of the pond. And I think is the foundation to any good pond maintenance program is making sure you get aeration system in here. But yeah, again, that trampoline out there is super cool. The kids have loved that thing, man. Yeah, go ahead. Nice. Are you past the point of weed? Is it good and weighing heavy? Is it all too much to carry? All right, let's get this lid put back on, see how much it quiets it down. That's not too bad. That is definitely a lot better than having it open like that. Now, that might be something I look into upgrading, is getting a box for this. Maybe it'll quiet it down. Maybe they're a little bit thicker material so it's not so loud, but this is pretty tolerable. Another question that I get all the time is, how much does it cost to run this pump 365, 7 days a week? And when I added this pump, it increased my electric bill by $30 a month. That's about $1 a day. And that is actually a good point to make. is this pump efficient? I wonder if ponying up and buying a more expensive pond aerator is going to be more efficient, because $30 a month forever versus spending all the money up front and saving money every single month, that might be a big factor in purchasing one of these. And if that's something you guys are interested in, I'm willing to go out and get a real expensive one and do a direct comparison on whether it's worth spending the money on an expensive one or going with one of these cheaper Vevor pumps. But for sure, I think that this thing is worth it. If you are hesitant on getting a pond aerator because they're so expensive, I believe I spent less than $300 on this thing, and we're going into our 3rd year running it nonstop. I think that's pretty impressive. You could almost replace that thing 2 or 3 times in that amount of time. So even if I did have to replace it, let's say in a year, it might still be cheaper to go this way. I don't know. You tell me what you think in the comments. But guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. I hope that this has helped you. And if you like it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're always doing something different here on the property, whether it's food plots or tractor reviews or equipment, stuff like that. There might be something for everybody here. So hit that subscribe button. But guys, until next time, we'll see you in the next video.